Bullshit.
It's the No BS Marketing Show. I'm Dave Mastovich, CEO of Massolutions, the world's only no bullshit marketing firm. There are 8 reasons why companies become BS marketers. We help you identify and avoid all 8 so you can improve your top and bottom line. What do you think about logos? The age-old discussion about logos. There's all kinds of perceptions about logos. National companies sometimes overthink logos. Regional or medium-sized companies often misinterpret and misuse logos. And localized, smaller companies tend to underthink logos. What do I mean by all this stuff about logos? Let's start with what a logo is and what does it mean. Well, I mention all the time that words matter. And logo is derived from Greek meaning word. So the logo is a word in an image format typically that tells you something about the brand and company. The logo sets the tone for how you are perceived, and whether you like it or not, it ignites a feeling and a perception of your company. And why I said whether you like it or not is because some people underthink logos and don't see them as important or don't put enough time into them and don't use the art and science. And as a result, they don't realize that their logo is actually giving something in the mind of everyone that sees it, an initial thought about that company. I want to elaborate. I said that national companies, national brands often overthink logos. An example of that is I'm reading in Bloomberg Pursuits from Bloomberg Businessweek, an article titled The Expensive Type by Rob Walker. And it says why so many luxury fashion logos are choosing simplicity over standing out. The expensive type or luxury typography is touched on in the article. And for decades, there was this perception that there was a luxury typography and that you had to have your logo look expensive and look luxurious. And now you're seeing fashion companies like Burberry moving from an old-looking, almost equestrian type logo of Burberry, which was barely readable in many respects, to something simple now, just as Burberry, London, England, with a simplistic type. And the article goes on to say that that imagery of thinking that there was a luxury typography was actually not really true for the most part. And in fact, many of the luxury companies didn't get much benefit from the logo being difficult to read. And in reality, simple is better. Less is more when it comes to how we as humans see things and feel about things and think about things. So Burberry, a national brand, simplified their logo and moved away from the overthinking that we've seen years ago. Starbucks kind of had an overthought logo, and they've simplified that. So many of the national brands often overthink it and leave it cluttered, whereas the ones that really win, Nike with their slogan, Just Do It, and the swoosh stripe, Google, which although they change their logo on the page, you still know that simple typeset and logo and the color scheme and so forth. But it goes way beyond that. It's these brands at the national level that emote something every time we see it. Now, on the medium-sized companies, they sometimes misinterpret or misuse the logo. There was one company that I worked with that was a medium-sized healthcare system, and when I began to talk to them about the new logo design and how to use that logo, they struggled because they wanted it to be big. And I've probably heard this 1,000 times from 1,000 different companies. when you do say a billboard, an outdoor ad, and you have one or two words or one big image and the logo's smaller. Why is the logo so small? Why is the logo so small? Or my funniest example was the bag that people put shit in, their free shit in, when they go to a health fair. You walk into the health fair, you grab your bag from one of the booths to put your free shit in. And this medium-sized company wanted the logo to be the full size of the bag. And I had to keep explaining to them that no, there's a subtlety about it and there's contrast. And the human eye on that billboard does see the contrast more when it's big and small rather than just big and medium. So there's a misusage by a lot of mid-sized companies that don't have that sophisticated level of research and marketing intel, but yet still have the money to put towards branding and PR, digital marketing, sponsorships, etc. So mid-sized companies often misinterpret or misuse the logo. Now, the localized companies, the companies that are smaller, the companies that might be anywhere from 15 to 50 million in annual sales, that might be anywhere from 10 employees to 100 employees, the companies that make up the vast majority of companies in the United States, and most employees actually work for those companies, they underthink the logo. I've had many, many CEOs say to me, the logo doesn't matter. We know who our customers are. We work in this space. Everybody knows us. Let's say it's a commoditized space. We work in the energy space. We're a smaller energy company. It doesn't matter. But it does matter because the first thought of that company by someone that doesn't know them is less than positive, and the thought by people that do know the company is actually impacted by that look and that feel not being where it needs to be. Now, that's not enough to make them say no to buying you if you have a great price and a great product, but it is part of the whole feeling about a company, and emotion plays a big role in how people choose and continue to stay with a company. So many smaller companies use the My Cousin Vinny logo. They had their cousin Vinny design that logo at a Starbucks on a napkin, playing off of the old My Cousin Vinny, great movie, classic. But a lot of times logos were created by someone who just drew it on a napkin or drew it on the back sheet of paper, or someone that was a relative. And they didn't leverage the art and the science of it. And so that is an example where you can improve your brand by having a more up-to-date, current logo that ties to what you're about and conveys what you are as a company. So the larger national brands often overthink logos. The medium-sized companies often misinterpret and misuse the logo. And the localized or the smaller niche companies tend to underthink the logo. Remember, the word logo means word, derived from Greek, because it's going to be the word about you. It's going to say it visually in your word and the way it's designed to convey something about your company. Take your logo seriously, but not too seriously. Leverage the art and science. Keep it simple. Keep it up to date. And when you use the logo, understand contrast. The bigger the size of your logo is, not the better size on the website, on social media, in an advertisement, on an outdoor billboard, on merchandise, on that bag that people use to put all their free stuff in when they go to a health fair. So logos are important. Make the emphasis on it as in the proper way and leverage it the most to tell your story. I want to talk to you about Sprezzatura by Jen Safran. Jen creates and serves heritage-inspired cooking for events and the public. Sprezzatura, which means graceful execution, specializes in custom Italian-American menus made with fresh, locally sourced ingredients to live up to their commitment to sustainable business practices that support local growers. Visit sprezzatura.com for all your holiday needs. I want to thank you for listening to the No BS Marketing Show. Your reviews matter and can help us to improve the show. So please leave us a review. telling us what you like or some constructive feedback. Also, sign up for your weekly No BS marketing fix at massolutions.biz. That's B-I-Z. And lastly, remember, ask yourself, what's the big idea? And build your story around the answer. It's all about bold solutions, no BS.